Ah, yes, it's me again. Yeah, sorry. I'm going to do another one of these PBS stupid thingies. So this one's on some sort of warp drive possible thing. And yeah, it just irritates me, so I figure I'll do it. Because it's an irritating subject. Even if we could do this, realistically, what do people think they're going to find? If they find intelligent life, it's going to have the same problem we have, which is, where are the white women at? I mean, they're going to be doing the same thing, right? Drugs, you know. What is the? You're gonna go out to dinner and see a show? I mean, what? I don't understand the human race. So anyway, this video gets 4,824 thumbs up and only 48 thumbs down. I mean, I get 48 thumbs down without even trying. And you're just like, that ratio just doesn't make any sense. I mean, this is junk science. It's insanely stupid science. But anyway, let's play with it.
Rumour has it NASA is actually working on a real faster-than-light warp drive.
Who? NASA? Oh. Sorry, I don't like this. This guy's really pissing me off. Alright, rumor has it. So now we rumor about NASA. It's so distant from being what it used to be, which is like, yes, America's efforts in space. But now you have to have rumors about it. You can't even know what NASA's doing. You have to rumor. Remember, NASA came up with the arsenic life form. Yeah, right. They trained some microbes to eat arsenic and then called it a new foundation of living thing. A new living thing. We discovered new life on Earth. No, we just trained it to do something stupid. Wait, let's go on. Play along.
So when do we get our first starship?
Fucking yeah, I hate these people.
Faster-than-light travel is a staple of science fiction. Star Trek warp drives zip around the galaxy at hundreds of times the speed of light.
I don't know, is that hundreds? I mean, really, I don't know. I remember, like, they had warp 1 and 3 and 8. 8 was like, you know, that was like going really fast. I mean, it's 8 times the speed of light then, right? Warp 8? I don't know. Obviously, they need more than warp 8 to get anywhere important, so, yeah. I mean, theoretically, warp 8 had to be much faster than 8 times the speed of light. It had to be like, 8,000 times the speed of light. Yeah. So obviously that was another problem with the TV show kind of thing. You know, it says that they didn't really explain exactly how fast they actually were going, how much faster than light they were actually traveling to actually get anywhere. Right? I mean, to get somewhere in 6 hours, they go across the whole galaxy, that kind of thing. You have to go a lot faster than light. Okay, anyway. So, warp 8 must be 8 something else. Alright, and the other thing, like these spaceshipy things, it can't be like a drive. You can't, like, push something. You'd have to, like, you have to create something in front of space, the ether, a force, and wipe it the entirety, just clean it all out so there's nothing there, no quanta exist anymore. And then you can go any speed you want. Kind of. But I mean, to get rid of all the quanta, yeah, you need like 5 million sun power. Anyway, let's play along.
But travelling at the real cosmic speed limit of 1 times the speed of light would make for some pretty dull sci-fi. I mean, it would have taken Han Solo 40 years to make the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs, travelling at only light speed.
Yes, that's right. I just said that, basically, yeah. So even science fiction is full of shit.
Understandable that both physicists and sci-fi fans dream of cracking FTL travel.
No, I don't know why they do that. Frankly, these are all just delusions, like God and life is a puffy, friendly thing. This is all like stuffed animal bullshit. I mean, somebody somewhere ought to get serious sometime and just say, will you quit fucking jerking off to fairy tale characters? It's really, really creepy. Quit training people to do that. I mean, I was trained. I mean, I have to admit, they caught me for a little while here and there. They'd catch me with one of these soap operas, one of this kinky sex bullshit. And then I'd figure out, man, this is really perverted. I don't want to do this anymore. I have to get that. I didn't have to get it after all. The crank caller. Thank you so much.
Spanish physicist and sci-fi fan Miguel Alcubierre was so...
Oh, Alcubierre. Alcubierre. I was wondering how to say that. Alcubierre. Alcubierre. Yeah.
inspired by the idea that he decided that the Star Trek warp drive should become a reality. In fact...
and he could just make it happen with his big Mexican penis or something. I don't know. He has a secret plan.
Was inspired by Gene Roddenberry's choice of the word warp. Alcubierre constructed a warp field in the mathematical language of Einstein's theory of general relativity.
Oh, gee, he did it in theoretical space. Yes, he theoretically warped the space in this funny way with this wheelie-dealy. Yes, amazing. Well, in the first place, Einstein's warped space is a pile of shit, okay? Space can't be warped. There has to be something to warp. So what you're warping is density of quanta. That's the truth. People don't know this. But see, the whole space is all full of these little bitsy things. And when they consolidate, they turn into one of these little things we might see. But otherwise, it's just full of all the little itsy-bitsy quantities. All moving like little BBs. And you can't really warp them. What happens is they get consolidated when they get turned into matter and they get closer together. And then the ones that are left are further apart. See how it works? See, if you had a bunch of stuff, like a bunch of jelly beans, and you spread them out on the table, all an inch apart, and then you put some of them closer together, then the ones out there in space would be further than an inch apart. Get it? Yeah, that's how it works. Oh, shit. They're going to try again, I guess. Hello? They didn't try very hard. I'll be back. Ah, distractions. Anyway, where was I? Let's continue.
A real solution to the equations of GR that would actually allow faster than light travel. Yep.
Alright, GR, so I guess that's general relativity, which is all crap, because it's just the clocks are the only thing that slow down. There is no real time dilation in any real sense. Matter just gets retarded. So it's like cryogenics in a sense. So there's only forward in space, but I mean, just saying, you still ain't going anywhere. You're not going faster. You're not getting anywhere. You ain't getting rid of all the quanta in the way.
Pretty much the ultimate in fan fiction. But is it actually fiction? NASA doesn't seem to think so. It's...
Yeah, whatever. You said it was a rumor, so NASA doesn't think that the speed of light is a speed limit. Sure it doesn't. If it doesn't, then NASA's really dumb. And so it's good it's not making space shuttles anymore, because it's really dumb.
EagleWorks Laboratories is actually trying to produce and detect warp fields.
EagleWorks, I don't know. Who are they? That was pretty quick. It went away already. I couldn't even... Who the hell are they? EagleWorks.
More on that later, but if NASA's researching it, it must be legit, right?
Well, you just said it was EagleWorks. You didn't say it was, is that NASA? I don't know what you're talking about now. Well, anyway, let's get to it already, please.
But when are we going to be warping around the galaxy? Let's break this idea apart. First, it's...
No, let's science it. Yeah, isn't that your line? Let's do science on it.
Important to note that this idea does not contradict the principle of a cosmic speed limit. That limit, the speed of light, refers to things.
Right. Things, right. Like us. Yeah, we're things.
Energy, information, traveling through space. However, according to general relativity, there's no limit on the relative speeds of two separate patches of space-time. For example...
Well, I know. Well, that's why there's no such thing as your nonsense here. There's no separate patches of space-time. That's all a delusion. The universe is made out of absolute stuff, you fuckheads. This relativity shit is just a pile of crap. Just very convenient. I mean, obviously things become relative when you're relative to it. Okay, when it's next to you. Oh, how to say this? you know, but you're still in an absolute universe. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, you know, everything has an absolute. You're stuck in an absolute universe. There just isn't any of this make it up shit.
In this episode, the expansion of the universe means that very distant galaxies are moving apart from each other faster than light.
There's no proof of that. I don't think there's real evidence of that, but whatever. You know, you're going to say they're moving apart from each other because you're saying space is expanding and all this other shit, but I don't even think any of that crap's happening either. You're all drawing these conclusions based on a little bit of redshift, and it's just such a crock of crap. Anyway, go ahead. More crap, please.
Even if the galaxies are relatively still in their local frames of reference. Also, below the event horizon of a black hole, space-time cascades towards the center.
Well, that's another one of your figments of your imagination, so go ahead, make up some more crap to make this all make sense. This is why your physics sucks, okay? Because it's just bullshit. You've never proven any of this event horizon sucks up light bullshit, so fuck you. It's made up.
Singularity faster than light, carrying light, matter, monkeys, and everything else with.
Yeah, it's right. Photons are the same as monkeys. Yeah, sure they are. Doesn't carry anything anywhere. It converts everything into nothing. Photons going that away.
Now, the space-time around and within a black hole is predicted by solving Einstein's field equations around a point of extreme positive energy.
Oh shit, I missed the equation. Damn. No, I'm not going back for it. But whatever, it doesn't prove shit.
Basically, mass and energy tell us how space should warp. But
mass and energy tell us how space should warp, and then the warp space tells mass and energy what to do. Isn't that fucking goddamn convenient? The egg hatches a chicken, and then the chicken lays an egg. I mean, yeah, no, reality doesn't work that way. Sorry, that's very convenient science. Yes, the empty space tells the matter and the energy what to do, and then the matter and the energy tells the empty space what to do. It works out just fine. For a fantasy.
If you're cheeky, you can actually just make up a solution to the equations of GR without starting with a real mass energy distribution. That's what...
Yeah, that's because all you people have a perception of the makings of the universe that's made out of shit. The conservation principle is real. You know, you're not going to be able to get away from it. The density crap is real. There's real density in the universe, and to extract all the density, then you're going to have to extract all the ether, so to speak, the space. And there's no force that you could create powerful enough to do that, so you're done. This is a stupid equation. And if you applied such a force, you'd blow up your destination. Your destination would turn into a fucking nothing. So what's the point? You'd burn down your neighbor, you know, you go into somebody else's house and you end up burning their house down. Driving there. What's the point?
Kubiak. He developed a space-time description, a metric tensor, that describes...
Oh, great. A metric tensor, which is an anarchy, the subdivision of a Hufsafar. I hate this shit. I mean, I really hate this convoluted fucking math. Metric tensor. An irrational number made of many figments of imagination.
The volume of nice flat space-time enclosed in a bubble of extreme curvature.
Right, there's absolutely no point in this, right? I guess I probably shouldn't even make this video, because I didn't know it was going to be this abstract, okay? Yeah, he drew a picture of a roundy thing that bends space. Oh, sure, yeah, we're almost there. Fuck. All you need is the picture, right? Once you have the picture, you got it. Okay, yeah, we're going to have that one tomorrow. Fuck. I don't think we are.
Pinching or warping of space-time in the surrounding shell that causes space to expand behind and contract in front of the bubble. As a result, the bubble is pushed and pulled by space-time itself.
Well, at least you got the bubble part right, that all this engine thing is just a canard, so you could just make this any shape you want to, and the whole idea is that you've got to create the bubble that somehow evacuates the space. You can't do that.
Moving at speeds only limited by the intensity of the warp. A starship inside the bubble.
No, it's like this. You see, I mean, if you really understand, you know, look, the universe is made out of these little BBs, right? These little squares. You could just say this is a place in space, a location, and the locations all have a little thing in them, okay? And you have to move the thing, right? But moving things takes energy. You have to shoot things at the things to make the thing move. So you have to make more energy, more stuff than the stuff you're evacuating from the place. And to do that, you would have to consume many galaxies in this machine and then shoot the galaxies out in front of you to evacuate the space of all the stuff that's in front of you. Which you're never going to do. So this is all fucking stupid.
Is carried along for the ride while feeling no acceleration at all. It's sort of...
Well, I mean, this idea of feeling no acceleration is already the canard that somehow you can create this bubble, okay, where you still have quanta that now is not contained by any pressure. So there's no space pressure holding it together. So what exactly is holding all these atoms together inside of here? Once you evacuate the stuff that's holding it all together, which is the gravity, the quanta that creates gravity, then there's no gravity. That means there's no atoms. That means there's no electrons. That means there's no protons. That means there's no neutrons. That means all of the stuff in this bubble blows the fuck up like a big bang, and you're fucking not going to go anywhere then, are you? That's true. I mean, that's another consequence. Not only do you need this tremendous amount of power to blow away the space in front of you, as soon as you blow away the space in front of you, all of the atoms will start deteriorating and blowing up themselves because there's going to be no ether quanta, holding them together. We're being held together. It's just like our human body, right? If you put us in space, the pressure inside of us will blow us up. Will essentially pop. From every cell will explode. And the same is true of real space. If you evacuate the quanta that are holding space together, you'll depressurize all the atoms, and all the atoms are held together with that pressure. That's what's making the whole thing stay together, is the kinetic energy of the universe. And if you blow that away, yeah, you'll blow up. Duh.
It's like building a conveyor belt out of space-time. You stand still with respect to the conveyor belt, but the belt itself moves faster than light. But is this even valid?
No, it isn't. That's how I'd answer that question. Is this even valid? No. Simple answer. No, 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 no. It's nonsense.
Can you just make up a space-time description and then essentially solve the Einstein equations backwards to figure out what arrangement of matter and energy...
Yeah, apparently you can do that, right? You can do anything you want with that kind of crap because the math is so fucking obtuse that, yeah, you can confuse the fuck out of anybody really easy. Just put a little W somewhere, squared, W squared. Did it.
...will be needed to create it. It's sort of like giving the answer before you have the question. So... 42. Yeah, sure you can do this. There's just no guarantee that the resulting mass energy distribution will be physically meaningful.
There is a guarantee that it'll be a crock of shit. I think it's pretty much guaranteed that it's a crock of shit because there's a conservation rule. The energy in matter didn't come from nowhere. The energy that's in matter came from, that's right, wait for it, space. Space is full of energy. That's what's making gravity. Yeah, the energy that's in space. Yeah.
In fact, when you try to do this for the warp field, you find that you need to produce a ring of negative energy density.
Right, negative energy density. What the fuck is that, right? Negative energy density. Negative energy. I love the fact that they just make up this negative crap like they've actually ever made a negative. They've ever done this bullshit. No, there's no such fucking thing as a negative energy. It just isn't. It's a crock of shit.
To produce the right warp bubble. That means our ship looks something like this.
There's nothing like, there's no unphoton, there's no anti-electron. I mean, all that crap is just fucking goddamn crap. There's things that are incompatible. Like me and tacos. Okay, I'll quit making Mexican. Look, I have nothing against Mexicans, right? Love Mexicans. People of Mexican heritage. Fine. I hate cultures, right? I hate cultures. I hate American culture. I hate Mexican culture. I hate South American culture. I hate all cultures on earth. I hate them. So it has nothing to do with race. It just has to do with point to a culture and I'll point out why it sucks. They all suck.
In order to produce a space-time...
Because they all talk shit. They all believe in wacky gods or they do this woo-woo nonsense.
curvature like this. Unfortunately, it may not even be possible to make negative energy densities on large...
Oh, great. It may not even be possible to make negative energy density. I mean, again, this whole negative energy density. I mean, a density of not even empty space, but negative space. But it has a density. I mean, this is an oxymoronic, correct-ish? Yeah, I think so.
Enough scales. We can create something like it, a negative pressure, on quantum scales via the Casimir effect.
No, you can't, liar.
But on macroscopic scales, you'd probably need some sort of exotic negative mass matter.
Yeah, you can't do it on no quantum scale either. It's just it's just a lie. It's a lie. That isn't what's happening.
Like element zero, which is tricky because...
There's no such thing as element zero. I mean, again, another made-up pile of shit. I hate that shit.
There may be no such thing. There are other...
Oh, there are some... How many times is it going to say there may be no such thing before you say, why are you making this video then, retard?
Minor issues. Any FTL device can in principle be used to make a time machine. Excellent!
No, it can't, because moving forward in time and moving backward in time are two different fucking goddamn things. Fuckhead.
Except, Stephen Hawking's chronology protection conjecture states that quantum mechanics will always stop causality breaking actions. It suggests that there's something in the deeper union of GR and quantum mechanics, the theory of everything, that prohibits the warp drive.
Yeah, well, whatever. Prohibits the warp drive going backwards. Like I said, you can put yourself to sleep, okay? So if you want to slow down your matter till it's barely even moving, you know, not vibrating much, and then you could sleep for 1 trillion years and then wake up some other place. Well, yeah, that you can do. You can freeze your matter and slowly progress into the future. But that's all you can do. You have to wait for the future to get here. All you're doing is putting your matter on hold, saying, you know, don't do anything while I'm gone. And then you wake up and say, hey, I'm there. So that you can do. Why you would want to do that, that's another question, right? So I don't think there's any place to go, fuckhead. I don't even think there's a decent 7-Eleven out there.
Possible quantum disaster is that the extreme space-time curvature of the warp bubble walls would roast the interior with crazy Hawking radiation.
Well, again, you made up that crap too. Hawking radiation, that's black hole shit, so whatever. Whatever. This made up Hawking radiation, whatever that is. But yes, you wouldn't get hot in here. You would get cold really fast because every bit of matter would fly apart. Because there's nothing holding it together. It's like black holes in theory. They don't work. What black holes are rings. Okay, it's empty in the middle. It's a donut. It's a donut with a hole in it. All right, so there's heavy gravity going into the ring, but that's it. There's nothing in the middle. Because nothing could sustain being in no gravity. Matter can't exist once you block enough gravity. Once you make a thick enough wall, right? If I put 10 suns right next to each other, their gravity, they wouldn't have any gravity. The middle sun would be getting no gravity from the exterior of all those other suns. So in that one line, that one linear line, it would be impossible because the matter in that middle sun would all disintegrate because there'd be no gravity.
Does anyone else get the idea that Stephen Hawking really doesn't want us to build time machines?
I get the idea that Stephen Hawking is way overrated. I mean, a very sympathetic character, but, you know, way overrated as a physicist.
Suspicious. Here's another challenge. Assuming that you can even make negative mass matter, to make a warp field, some of it would need to go outside the warp bubble, which means it gets left behind when you go to warp speed. There are some proposed solutions.
I don't even know what that means. It's left behind. If you can make it, you can break it. But the point is, you can't survive being in it, so what's the point?
One of which is to lay down the external negative energy conditions along the path.
The external negative energy conditions. God dust. Lay down the God dust, and then you can go anywhere you want. Okay. The Mary Poppins feathers. Let Bugs Bunny go first, and you can just follow him. Science.
Before you leave. Sort of like a warp highway. The first trip has to be made at sub-light speed, but I'm personally cool with the awesomeness of warp highways. Last trip...
Or whatever. Yeah, right. First you gotta pave the road, and then you can drive on it. Yeah, it only take 1 trillion years to pave it, though.
Key thing. As Alcubierre devised the warp bubble, he figured it would take a lot of negative energy. In fact...
Right, negative energy again. This is just conceptually, I think you're way off there, fella. No fucking such thing.
It would take significantly more negative energy than there is positive mass energy in the entire...
Right, well anyway, again, this whole, like there's negative mass is just stupid. Sorry, it's stupid.
...our observable universe. Later refinements brought this down to the mass equivalent of Jupiter. Either way, not practical. Happily, recent reworkings of the bubble geometry have cut this down further.
The bubble geometry. Look, they talk about this like it's some kind of real thing. No, it isn't.
Thicken the walls of the warp field, and you get the negative mass energy requirement down to the equivalent of maybe the moon or even an asteroid. Rapidly oscillate the warp field, and you hypothetically soften the fabric of space via higher dimensional effects. Literally, a hyperspace...
Yeah, this is like some kind of anal probe. What? What did you just say? Please, shut up.
Warp drive. And this brings the mass needed down to kilograms. Given that we're just making up solutions to the Einstein equations, we could even shrink down the warp bubble while expanding the internal volume, TARDIS style, which could get us down to needing only milligrams of negative mass.
No, whatever. You know, you're not going to find a zilliogram of negative mass, so you're fucked anyway with your fucking negative mass bullshit. Sorry, it's just bullshit. There's no such fucking thing.
If the bubble is small enough, then we may not even need actual exotic matter. Quantum scale manipulation of the vacuum energy, a la the Casimir effect.
Oh, just take some better drugs, okay? This is just so fucking silly. All this goddamn nonsense. You know, fuck you. Get addicted to heroin, idiot.
Check the description for the sources of all of these ideas. Now, this
No, I'm never doing that.
Wild optimism has inspired NASA's Eagle Works laboratory.
Okay, NASA's Eagle Works. So NASA has something called Eagle Works. Advanced propulsion and power. And it's made its power out of negative energy power. The power of the negative energy. Sure.
To try an experiment to create and detect a warp field. Now this will be a field created by positive, not negative energy density, but baby steps, right? It uses a Michelson interferometer, like a mini version of the one being used to detect gravitational waves, to measure the tiny changes in...
Yeah, whatever. Gravitational waves. Here we go again. Wave theory all over the place. Why don't you do the two moon experiment? Fuck.
Path length created by a warp field. Now some intriguing results have been detected, but interpretation is very, very challenging. So when are we...
Yes, interpretation is very, very challenging because the whole fucking experiment is made out of fucking bullshit.
Going to be warping around the galaxy. If it's even possible, it'll take several centuries at a minimum. As I've argued before, we'll reach the stars by sub-light speeds.
Whatever. If you start taking heroin now, you might get there in less than a couple hundred years. Go ahead, come on. I mean, look, why don't you just vote for retardation as, you know, the national ambition? Let's just get totally retarded.
Starships long before that. Even the Kugelblitz engine, the black hole drive, has fewer physics hurdles than the warp drive. Honestly, I think it's going to take an actively
Well, whatever. You don't even understand what black holes are, so your frickin' black donut ain't gonna get you anywhere.
interstellar, or at least interplanetary human race to motivate the monumental advancements needed to build the first warp drive.
Yeah, I need more investments in silly science so we can keep doing this kind of crap and I can make a living.
The good news is we're going to need a ton of physicists to get to that point. Let's make it so.
Yeah, just give them heroin, right? Give babies heroin, and that's what a physicist is, right? A delusional lunatic who'll puke on your fuse.
Next episode of Space Time. Last week we talked about gravitational waves and whether the Advanced LIGO Observatory has maybe seen them. You guys had lots of amazing questions, so let's
Yeah, I'm sure some people had questions like, why are you lying about stuff?
get to them. Renato Grigoli and others asked, what about the LISA mission? LISA is amazing, although now it's ELISA, the Evolved Laser Interferometer Space Antenna. It'll be an orbiting gravitational wave observatory designed to detect much higher frequency gravitational waves than a...
Yeah, whatever. I mean, really, whatever. Whatever. I don't even mind the idea that gravity might have a frequency, but you're not detecting it, silly person.
Advanced LIGO. And this should actually allow it to detect binary star systems in our galaxy. The program is being developed by the European Space Agency. NASA was originally a part of it, but had to drop out due to funding cuts. And so now the...
Oh, gee. They're not going to fund cutting, what? Cute girlies out of, what, newspaper? I mean, this is, you know... Whatever.
original plan is scaled back significantly. Now that seems a shame, doesn't it? The scheduled launch date is 2034. Santochi asked
Well, cool. Well, if it's a laser thing, I don't see the point in it, right? Lasers bouncing up. It's not gonna work.
if we have any comments on the Bicep 2 experiment. Okay, so
I don't know. These aren't even on the subject, are they? The Bicep 2 experiment. Oh, please.
this was the much hyped gravitational wave detection based on polarization anisotropies in the cosmic microwave background radiation that came out earlier this year.
Right, okay. Again, but you conceptually still have to understand what gravity is, okay? It's a straight line photonic force, right? It's a vibration in quanta. So that's the part you still got to figure out.
Yeah, so now the money is on the signal actually
Inverse square law.
being due to dust, not G-waves. The lesson? Quadruple check your quadrupole.
Right, so they got something wrong already. They found some dust and thought it was gravity. Okay, stupid.
This is why LIGO won't say anything until at least the end of the year. Now Mr. Shipman wants to know, if we find these G-waves, will it change anything? Can we build something cool with them? Well, maybe. Quantum mechanics began as an abstract musing on the nature of reality, and I doubt that...
I don't think that's what it began as. It began as quantum mechanics. It began as an idea that you can quantify the elements of the physical universe, that you can find the atom, so to speak, the true atom, that it exists, that there's Planck minimums. It wasn't created as some fantastic bullshit reverse backward space bullshit thing. Fuck. Because you jackasses turned it into nonsenses, and it isn't quantum mechanics' fault.
Max Planck and Schrödinger and Bohr.
Well, I mean, I wish Planck was alive today so he could spit on you.
Imagine that this crazy theory would lead to the invention of the transistor, a quantum...
Well, again, this is just bullshit. It didn't lead to shit. No, it led to the invention of the transistor. People doing experiments, okay? That's all. Nothing else. I mean, it really wasn't necessary to have any kind of even a physical notion about what was possible, because they already knew what was possible by shooting electricity through crystals, and they already knew what was going on, and so it's just bullshit. They just did experiments, and that's how they make things going faster, because they do experiments, goddammit. Trial and error invents more than your stupid, idiotic notion that quantum mechanics invented. It didn't. Bullshit. I claim that even if they never invented the idea of any probabilistic wave theory of light, okay, that they would have figured out how to make a photocell because they already knew it existed. And that's what Einstein was doing before quantum mechanics, was recognizing the fact that if you shoot light on certain metals, it created electricity.
Mechanical device, let alone the computer, the smartphone, the Apple Watch.
Right, okay, just keep saying it's all based on bullshit wave theory, and it's not. So go ahead, just lie some more.
Tenebrae wants our thoughts on that amazing new Kepler Space Telescope result that the media is hyping as an alien megastructure eclipsing a distant star. Now this is a stunning result, but as we say on Spacetime, it's never aliens. Check out the actual signal that reveals this eclipsing material. Those dips are the drops in the star's brightness from some stuff moving in front of the star. It's dimmed by a crazy 20% at some points. Now this is definitely not a clean geometric structure. It looks like it has to be some fragmented, clumpy material, like the proposed swarm of comets. That suggests a natural origin. Although I imagine it could possibly be an insanely vast ragtag colony of...
Yeah, that's what it really looked like to me. It looked like God. Yeah, God. I think it's God's fingerprint.
Space structures surrounding a parent planet. Except it's never aliens. Radio telescopes are now pointed at it, so perhaps we'll know pretty soon. To undisclosed, I say, you laugh, but the first evidence of alien life may be the spectroscopic signature of biogenic atmospheric methane on another world.
Right, methane. What the fuck is that? It's methane and aluminium?
To Simon Martin, don't worry, they're holding me very gently.
Yeah, queerness in the end there. Oakley doke, well, we're done. I don't know why they link to these people, right? They say comments and they have these names and then it's all linked to the same video. It's like, why are they doing that? Strange. Anyway, I guess those were the comments he was responding to. They're all in the same video. Whatever. Anyway, so that wasn't much fun. Okay. Maybe better next time. So, till next time and such.